I personally regard Queen Elizabeth II to be a bisexual rights movement's killer because her only way to approximate um, uh, the he just loved so much. He loved so much. We can't understand. It's beyond our understanding. He loved so much, and he died for us. But you study Mark's Gospel in isolation, and you've got the story of innocent person being kidnapped, suicided, and murdered. And then you've got Matthew and Luke's Gospel copying verbatim 70 to 90% of the papyrus manuscript, Koine Greek symbolic literary content of Mark's Gospel. So they're adding miracle stories, they're adding, and every miracle story they add has precedence in pagan religions. So rather than you get told, oh, Paul was running around teaching about Jesus in pagan Rome. No, paganism was plagiarized from and used to describe a man who was said to have loved everybody, and then added because they say it about the Egyptians, like the Pharaoh would never keep a historical document that dishonored the Pharaoh. Like if the Pharaoh was a fuckwit, you wouldn't know about it from their history books. Yeah, well, neither would the gospel author. It's a murder and its concealment progressively as you go from Mark to then the Gospel of Matthew and Luke. More concealment of what was really going on in the gospel, as alluded to by the Gospel of Mark, then covered up even more by the Gospel of John. So what every Christian I encounter in debate was educated by Johannine concepts first, and all of that means that they stipulate that it was a premeditated idea of Jesus that he would die for everybody. But I know that to be written in concealment of his kidnap against his consent at ransom, as documented in Mark. So, because of it, her only real way to feel that her religion is flourishing is to annex the bisexual community now. So that is all she is to me. A feral, cunt, bisexual rights movement killer. Now, I've talked to apologists that own theology schools, and they're commending my points of argument. So I would debate the Queen in front of all of you now. Just she's got sand in her vagina and a bit too busy. Or has COVID-19. Interesting name. And yeah, it provides the sex drive relief from the belief of being inbred. Psychopath with inbreeding and inbreeding psychopaths who are so inbred that they have to get relief from being inbred, so they venture out from the garden and kill the bisexual. That's all I see Christianity to be. So because of it, you do know, and know indeed, that there is no indemnity at all whatsoever between my person and a single other person in Australia, with the exception of my Baptist who visited here in the earlier part of the previous decade. I was able to achieve another growth spurt. The bisexual community would be viewed as probably more naturally occurring than heteros. So it's funny, they'll go, well, what was Jesus' sex? He loved everyone. Who's the only type of person that can sleep with a heterosexual, a homosexual, a lesbian, a transgender, a post-op transgender? Oh, it's bisexual. Interesting. Oh, and Jesus loved everybody. Oh, what was Jesus' sex? Oh, that's supernatural. Oh. Wow. What a conundrum. So, as I see it, the proliferating continuance of our judicial system being incorporative of the Bible, it means that without even seeing it, they're interested in the destruction of any bisexual that they will encounter. They'll kill a bisexual before allowing the bisexual to establish something like a pregnancy check. Happen know this to be true. So that's why I was saying months back the AFPists should either take the Bible out of their little watch section or start wearing leaves, like leaves here, groin leaves in between their gun holster and their wallet, because it's confusing them a lot. It's making them touch up and pat down and feel the dicks and pussies of a lot of people that are just really walking around. That's none of their business to be fucking touched in the first place. And they're the cunts with a gun. Like, fuck you. Fuck you. Get the Bible out of your business, or admit to religious discrimination, and walk around with a leaf planted. You're not allowed to operate as a police officer unless you have a leaf over your nads, just to make you think twice, really, was the idea.